The attitude can change with a blink of an eye. Right when you decide that I want to give my best shot to this examination. And no matter what, I will not give up. If you have that kind of will, that is something you can decide in a matter of seconds. Sleeping is very important on the day prior to the exam. You have to sleep on time so that you can wake up the next day feeling fresh. Second is eating. You have to eat the right thing before the examination. So it's very important to just keep flipping the pages and stick to NCRTs. Tell yourself, give a very brief, small pep talk to yourself that not this time. I will not give up this time. I will do it.
Hello everyone, today I am joined by Geetika Ma'am, who is an eminent faculty at VisionIAS. Ma'am will be sharing some of the key insights that will be helpful for you in preparing geography and environment for the days which are left. And also Ma'am will be guiding us on what can be done in terms of stress management for the final few days. Welcome Ma'am to our session.
Hello Tushar.
Ma'am, as only few days are left for the exam, students might be under a lot of stress and they must be facing a lot of anxiety. In order to tackle that, any strategies that you would like to suggest to help them out of this situation?
Well, Tushar, like you said, just a few days are left. And in the few days that are left, of course, it's a single digit number, hardly any days are left. But there is still a lot the students can do in this time. It may not be enough for revisions, it may not be enough to study new material, but this time is certainly enough to bring a shift in your attitude. The attitude can change with a blink of an eye. Right when you decide that I want to give my best shot to this examination. And no matter what, I will not give up. If you have that kind of will, that is something you can decide in a matter of seconds. And which is what needs to be done in the next 3-4 days. You have to build an iron will from within that I am not going to give up.
Well, certainly, ma'am, that iron will is what the student needs. Ma'am, any last day tip that you would like to give? Because I feel the stress is very high on the day before the exam.
So on the day before the exam, a lot of pressure builds up because your parents are anxious, your friends are there, everybody is calling you to wish you all the best, like you're going for a war. It makes you feel like that. We have to remember a few things. First and foremost, sleeping is very important on the day prior to the exam. You have to sleep on time so that you can wake up the next day feeling fresh. Second is eating. You have to eat the right thing before the examination, not only because it should be fresh and infection free, but also because the eating cycle will also make a difference. So for example, try not to have your breakfast between 9:30 and 11:30 and try not to have your lunch after 2:30 to 4:30 because those are the examination hours the very next day and your digestive system will function accordingly. So eat your breakfast and lunch like you would on the day of the examination. Have that same cycle one day before. And most importantly, try to keep your phone away because there'll be so many people calling you up, or bhai, are you ready for the exam? But obviously they don't understand how it feels. You will still have a lot of pressure. Yaar, ye revise nahi kiya, I have missed that, I haven't studied that. So try not to entertain those thoughts. Try not to entertain people who will put pressure on you. My suggestion would be just switch on your phone for, let's say, 1 hour in the evening when you're unwinding, finally calling it a day in your preparation. And at that point in time, just take everybody's wishes and then switch off your phone, or at least switch off the net and then go off to sleep. And one final thing which I think really helps is one evening prior to the exam, on the eve of the examination, I would suggest either you go for a nice stroll, put on your music or alone, or if you have a trustworthy friend, and try to pray to God. You can go to whichever religious place that you usually go to and just offer your prayers to the God that I have studied very hard, I have sacrificed my so much time for this examination and I have tried to put in my best, and please be with me, help me. And that helps. It helps you feel that yes, there is someone, there is an almighty who's looking after you, and kind of relieves the additional burden that people around you put.
Well, certainly, ma'am. Also keeping the phone away would help them tremendously.
Right.
And also believing in the Almighty, because the day is near,
Absolutely.
the final day is near, is going to help them
Absolutely.
immensely. Ma'am, since your subject expert is geography, any last minute tip or last minute topics that you would like to suggest the students?
Well, I would not suggest any topics as such because I understand time is already very short. But I would definitely like to recommend to the students, please go through your NCRTs. You all must have already gone through your NCRTs and your class notes. And do visit the atlas also once. Just flip the pages, even when you're, let's say, having your lunch or dinner, when you're unwinding, even then keep flipping the pages. You never know what you just glance through might come in the examination and come in handy. So it's very important to just keep flipping the pages and stick to NCRTs.
Well, absolutely, ma'am. NCRT, as we know, is the Bible for this exam.
Right.
Now, ma'am, we also know that environment is not far away from geography. It's also a part of it. Any specific tips for environment?
For environment, I would like to tell the students that whatever you may have studied over the course of last 1.5 years or more, stick to that, stick to the static part. Try to identify questions in the paper which are from the static portion, because those will be easier to handle. Also, of course, there is PT 365, so one can refer to that material for whatever current ongoings have been happening. But there's one source which I absolutely tell the students which has a very high return on investment, and that is the class 12th biology NCRT, where there are 3 chapters on ecosystem. Those 3 chapters for the last 3 years I have been consistently seeing that at least one question comes straight away. So for example, last year the question was on fig and wasp, the relationship between the 2 species. And that was a direct lift from those chapters. In fact, the book even shows the images of the fig fruit and the wasp. And that is exactly, these are low hanging fruits which should not be missed. This is something which has very high return on investment. So just try to go through the pages. If you haven't read it already, just skim through the pages, at least see the pictures, at least see what all examples are given in the NCRT, and that can definitely come in very handy.
Yes, ma'am, a very valuable insight. Not to skip the source that ma'am has mentioned. Ma'am, any final message that you would like to give to the students?
Well, I just want to say that this examination is not as much a test of your knowledge as much it is of how badly you want to crack this. If you really want to crack this exam, you have the grit and determination, you will definitely do it. So in those 2 hours when you're in the examination under a lot of pressure and lot of expectations, or generally also there is lot of pressure to recollect facts, what did I study in that and all that. There's only one thing I will tell the students is, don't give up in the examination itself. Don't think that nahi hone wala. Don't do that. And definitely don't do that one day before the examination. Just tell yourself, give a very brief, small pep talk to yourself that not this time. I will not give up this time. I will do it. Whether I fail or whether I clear or not clear, that's for 1 month later. But I will definitely give it my best in those 2 hours. That is all that is required. And who knows, luck may be on your side.
Correct, ma'am. So dear students, with this we end our session. I hope this session was helpful for you. So stay motivated, keep learning. All the best.